Greetings and salutations. All right. So, unfortunately, the today I'm going to be on my headset mic, which is likely going to be a bit different here. Um, as far as I can tell, the audio quality is good because I have a good gaming headset, but I live over a nightclub, so it does tend to get a bit loud, and my Yeti mic amplifies it. Okay, so when we last left off, I made it to level 11 on the thaumaturge, but doing the job quest for it would require going into an area I haven't accessed yet. Um, so between then and now, I finally did make the decision to switch over to a lower population server, which is Marilith. Now it gets me a neat little preferred world bonus, which is going to speed up my leveling. But the bigger reason is because I belong to an FC on my current main character that I'm playing, and I just wanted to be able to, be able to hang out with my damn friends without having to do the whole data center hop. Process is pretty easy. You go through Mog Station and they'll transfer you. Now, transferring to a low population world is free. There's no money exchange. You just choose to stop being on the other place. On congested worlds, you may not be able to transfer at all because they're like, yeah, no, sorry. It's kind of like the nightclub. Like, hey, nope, sorry, we're kind of at cap here and you're going to need to go elsewhere. But in any event, yeah, that would be why I haven't been able to go. That's why I haven't opened that up yet. Okay. So MSQ wise, I'm still on level 9 quests. They're still throwing me so many potions. Okay, let's get this started. Ah, the altruistic adventurer. I was hoping we'd bump into each other. Why? Because the most fascinating piece of news recently reached my ears, and I'm eager to share it. May I? Rumor has it that there's a vast, untapped vein of ore beneath the ruins of Sildi. But that is not all. Inconceivably, the concern appears to be entirely ignorant of its existence. And even as we speak, a young upstart, a self-made merchant from Stone's Throw of all places, is moving to claim it. The fellow's name is Whiston. He is a very, very ambitious young man. Not only does he intend to secure exclusive excavation rights, but they say his master plan is to use his new fortune to curry favor with the Sacrarium. Of course, the thaumaturges only consider the opinions of the most wealthy when drafting the laws of Ul'dah. If you would have your voice heard, you must be prepared to pay a sultan's ransom. One voice, which is invariably heard, belongs to Lord Lolorito. He has long lavished guild upon the thaumaturges, and some claim that he devises new laws with the express intention of ruining his competitors while protecting his own interests. Suffice it to say, if Whiston thinks he can compete with the likes of the Syndicate, he's in for a rude awakening. But that eventuality may yet be a little way off. For now, he is moving ahead with his plans and assembling a team to survey the site. I'm told that he's at the Coffer and Coffin right now, recruiting able-bodied adventurers to escort his prospectors. Warren says you were looking for work. Maybe you should meet Whiston and volunteer for his expedition. Okay. This over here is the coffer and coffin. I do think it's kind of neat little point. Yep. Nope. Boom. And it's some dude with glasses. Come to join? Sorry, but you're too late. Some brass braids. Some brass blades looking for extra coin volunteered, and the team's already en route to the ruins. But look, I know it's not easy to find work these days. If you're interested, there's something else you can do for me. There are these children outside, little ones from Stone's Throw. I look after them when I have time to spare, and so they've taken to following me around, even when I tell them not to. But what with overseeing the search for the vein, I barely have a chance to visit the privy at the moment, much less entertain younglings. Can you give them these ginger cookies and convince them to go home for me? Oh, trusting the brass blades is probably not a good point. I ain't going nowhere, mister. Too hungry to move besides, so you'll have to carry me. Cookie? Well, if Whiston really wants me to go home, then all right. But I want to next time. I like playing with Whiston. He makes sure no one bullies us. Whiston's worried about us? Oh, I don't want to make him worried. I'm a good girl, so I'll go home. Whiston always plays with us. Why won't he come out and play? Wow, ginger cookie. Better save some for my brother. I know. I'll go home and eat it with him. Whiston's kind to us. I like him. He's so gonna get screwed over by the brass blades. Yeah, so if you don't remember, back in part 1, when we were first journeying into Ul'dah, the brass blades were the ones who were trying to plant somnus on us to roll us for coin. This for me? I want to eat it. Then again, I don't. Because then it'd be gone. Tell Whiston thanks and tell him I'm sorry for getting in the way. Thank you, adventurer. I only wish I could do more. Stone's Throw is no place for a child. Not that my childhood was much happier. Never enough food to go around or work to earn it. But no shortage of contempt from the great and the good. I remember thinking things could only get better. Yet now, after the calamity and everything else, for us refugees to be forced to live outside the gates like bloody beastmen is a disgrace. They say with enough money you can change the laws here. So I'm going to make a fortune and do just that. I'll buy the excavation rights and start my own mining business. Then I'll give my fellow refugees the work they're crying out for and pay them fairly. The mining companies have profited from our suffering for too long. But in their hubris, they've grown complacent, presenting us with a golden opportunity. We will take it, adventurer. We will reclaim our dignity. And with it, our place within those walls. I actually really like this part of the story. Jeez. They did a nice job here. Brass blades. We found her. We found the vein. Whiston, you must come and see. Already? Amazing. We leave at once. Join me, my friend. Come and bear witness to history in the making. Okay, looks like we're rolling this direction. Run, 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 run. Run, 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 run. And I could do the sensible... Ooh, I have to kill things here. Looks like I'm going to have to do a duty. All right. Sinks me to 13. Let's go for it. Yep. Balls, son. A vein of ore in the middle of a ruined, bloody city? Goddamned idiot. What did you think was going to happen? That you'd strike it rich and get cozy with the order, while the masters of Ul'dah looked on? No one crosses the syndicate. Syndicate? Finally sunk in, has it? Well, look at this. Not all your friends have deserted you, it seems. Lucky boy. Now you won't have to die alone. Oh, mournful voice of creation, grant ye this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life. Who's spouting that gibberish? Show yourself! That's not a good sign. This ain't part of the plan. Bloody hells, does Lord Lolorito mean to kill us too? Yeah, don't think this one's on Lolorito. Which, by the name, you can tell he's a Lalafell. Wait. Time to bottom out my MP again. Come on. Yes. Yes, I am strong enough to withstand. That the golem could be vanquished. That man is no ordinary adventurer. Hey, Tancred. Damn. Seems I've missed all the fun. I see you didn't need my help this time. Oh, God, migraine. I would compose a ballad in your honor, but I fear no words would do you justice. The songstress of Uldar herself could not rival your beauty. Oh, stop it. I've oft heard it said that a blossom's beauty can move a man to love and long, but I never truly believed it until I met you two desert roses. I hear, I hear they attacked another caravan. Aye, business is suffering for it. Bloody Amal Jah. Stirred 'em up, do you reckon? Another raid. And I'll wager that caravan was carrying crystals, much like the last. If they truly mean to summon a primal, we must act quickly. Quickly? Quickly. Will you come in, love? You wouldn't keep a girl waiting, would you? Perish the thought. So tell me, where in this marvelous city might you lovely ladies be staying? Surprised he has the energy to keep searching after that. At this rate, grain will soon be more precious than gold. Result of the uncommonly bad harvests, to be sure. We have you to thank for them, do we not? Oh, that's Dalamud. Aye, this weakening of the etheric flow must surely be linked to Dalamud's descent. And, of course, to the primals. Fine mess. We must not lose hope. Maybe Swall will know what to do. We need only trust in his judgment. Truly a marvel of Charlatan ingenuity. As if I could reach out and touch the Aether. Time to focus. No more gallivanting about like before. The Scions are counting on you. Have faith. Just have faith. You can do this. This disturbance is recent. Sultanry? Maybe Papa Sean will know something of it. It's like they gave you quite a thrashing. Can you walk? It's me. I was too late. Our person of interest had already quit the scene. The General? Very well. I shall be there anon. My colleagues went to great lengths to provide me with the means to detect etheric disturbances. But every time I find one, you seem to be in the middle of it. I'm starting to wonder if it might not be simpler just to follow you around. Sadly, I have business elsewhere. Tread softly, my friend. Carefully laid trap you dismantled was clearly sanctioned by Lord Lolorito. I heard the Blades mention him as they fled. Believe me when I tell you that he is not a man to be trifled with. The Sultana's enemies grow bolder by the day, and I suspect they have the support of outside forces. Thank you. If you hadn't come along, those bastards would surely have slaughtered us all. I would speak with you further, but it isn't safe for us to linger here. Find me at the coffer and coffin later. Until then, stay safe. I shall accompany Whiston and his men. They need protection, and I need more information. But where are my manners? I have yet to properly introduce myself. I am Thancred, humble scholar surveying the flow of Aether and Thanalan. You are not humble. It is an honor and a privilege to make your acquaintance. I hope when next we meet, it is under more auspicious circumstances. Farewell. Wait a moment. It occurs to me that we may have... Never mind. Fare thee well. Gotta work on my Asian voice a bit. Might put more of a rumble in there. That's called slide casting. So normally when you move while casting, your bar will... Basically it'll interrupt your cast if you move. Which is a whole damn problem. But if you wait long enough into your cast, it'll still complete. Whew. I should probably put this on hotbar for right now. You keep hopping out of that. All right. Really, we're still going this route. 12, bless you, my friend. You risked your life to save ours. Betrayed by my own guards. Gods, I was a fool to trust those men. Lolorito owns the goddamn brass blades. Should have questioned their motives from the start. Even so, I could hardly have predicted that the wealthiest man in Ul'dah would want me dead for the heinous crime of seeking to change the law. I'm just a merchant, for God's sakes. That ruthless bastard. What of that monstrosity? Those were his own men. It beggars belief. Well, that's it. I'm finished. If I stay in Ul'dah any longer, I'm as good as dead. My associates, my friends, gods, even the children may not be safe if I don't disappear. And you, gods damn it. If Lolorito learns of your involvement, you'll be next. I'll speak with the others and make sure your part in this stays secret. Beyond that, I don't know what to suggest. Maybe you should seek the counsel of Mistress Momodi. She's helped countless adventurers in her time. Maybe she'll know what to do. Go quickly now, my friend. Lolorito's spies may be watching. Really? It paused less than 1% before I'd pop a level. Alright. So we haven't really talked about this screen yet. What this will do is show you all your stuff as you will level up, right? So you have actions which are, they're your actions. So right down there on the bar. Now, these are specific to your job. So they'll be different depending on what you're playing. So, hold on. So if we go back in, you'll see Fast Blade, Fire Flight, Iron Will. Boom. All around, this is what you do. Roll is based on, roll. So the role of the tank is tank. The role of that's what a gladiator does. Is you take the hits for others. So you'll get things like low blow, stuns your target, which can interrupt action. Interject also interrupts. Then you've got things like Rampart, reduces damage by 20%. Shirk, you can switch enmity. This is used later if you're doing a tank off tank situation where you've got two tanks and you need to switch out. And then arm's length nullifies most knockback, which means you don't not only knock back but draw in. So you'll stay where you're standing is essentially what it does. And then provoke is, hey, come kick my ass. And then we have traits. These are also based on job/role, but these are passive. You're never going to activate these. They just upgrade things. So eventually Rampart will develop an ability that increases HP recovery. So if you're healing yourself, you get a bonus 15%. Or Reprisal gets an extra 15 seconds that it's up. And we have things like duty action, but those are specific to certain what's called duties in the game. That's any instanced thing. So, like I just did one when I fought the big golem. But also like dungeons, trials, and stuff. Some of them may have specific duty actions that come up in their run. Settle down, Sean. You've got nothing to worry about. No one seems to know you were at the ruins. Whiston, on the other hand, is now a pariah. About as welcome round here as a rabid wolf, poor bugger. Suffice to say, that boy risked the wrath of the wrong man. Lord Lolorito, chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company, generous contributor to the Order of Nullthal, and member of the Syndicate. Didn't get where he is by leaving loose ends, that one. Which is why he ain't above killing his own men. Hells, even if those blades knew what was coming, it's not like they could refuse to do their benefactor's bidding. Don't let this color your view of Uldaw, Sean. It's true that there are some who aren't afraid to crack a few skulls if it gets them what they want. But most of us are decent folk just trying to make ends meet. You know, a lot of people would call you a damn fool for risking your life to save a marked man. But I believe you did a good thing, Sean. For that, you have my respect. Listen, you've been through a lot lately. Why don't you rest a spell? Oh, cool. I'll have the boys at the Hourglass set you up with a room. My treat. Just have a word with Otopa Patopa whenever you feel like staying. In rooms now available. When you've got your appetite for adventuring back, consider taking on a guild leave or two. We've a lot of requests from locals looking to hire adventurers for various jobs. It'd be a good way for you to earn yourself some extra gil. Eustace can tell you more about how the system works, so go and speak with him if you're interested. Guild leaves now available. You now have access to recommendations. This feature displays a list of quests or duties currently available in your area. The recommendations list can be opened from under duty in the main menu. It will also be displayed automatically when you log in. If you find yourself unsure of what to do next, this tool makes it simple to locate activities suitable for your present class and level. Dun 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 dun. Damn near put me through the whole other thing. Oh, I got Blizzard 2. Nice. I can start doing more damage. Okay. So, recommendations is under duty. All right. Say, leaves of horizon. Taking what they're given. Recommended duties. All right. Sean. Nobody said you might come. I take it you wish to undertake one of the many guild leaves available here at the Adventurers Guild. Guild leaves are the means by which we document requests for assistance from the citizenry, prior to assigning them to adventurers possessed of the necessary skills. From battlecraft leaves that require the extermination of monsters to tradecraft leaves that ask for the creation of goods. The tasks we term leave quests are many and varied in their nature. Should your interest be piqued, I suggest you make your way to Horizon and speak with Totonoa. You'll be happy to set your feet on the path to completing your first leave quest. Okay. Let's go into Horizon, which is out in Western. Good evening to you, adventurer. How may I serve you? Tire to an inn-room. As you wish, sir. Right away. Right this way, I think, is actually... Okay. So, we've got various stuff here, most of which I can't use. So we've got the armoire. This holds certain gear. The armoire can be used to store certain kinds of items with limited methods of attainment. So if you see the little icon that's circled in green, that means it can go in the armoire, which is built to save you some space on the glamour dresser, right? Glamour dresser we can't yet use because we haven't unlocked that. I don't have any. Toy chest has mini games, haven't unlocked that. Crystal bell is you can change up your look, but I haven't unlocked that. Summoning bell summons up your retainers. I don't have any retainers. Orchestrion, I don't have any orchestrions. This lets you play music, plain and simple. It's actually more useful when you actually get your own house. Here, it's just kind of a neat thing. Unending Journey. You can actually look at your various cutscenes. And then Comfy Feather Bed. So it's an interesting thing. In the original release, you had to log out through your bed. So you had to go to the bed. Now, they did use this eventually. They started having your character, like, you would log out. And when you logged in, you'd get these cutscenes with nightmares about the upcoming apocalypse. Now it's just kind of here. You can still use it to log out, but mostly it's just a thing. All right. I don't really want to keep going. Or work for a willing adventurer. Well, look what the curl dragged in. Good to see you, Sean. I'd ask what brings you, but I reckon we both know the answer to that already. Well, have I ever let you down before? Wait, don't answer that. So happens I know a fellow by the name of Dadanin. Jesus Christ. So happens I know a fellow by the name of Dadanin who needs a hand. He's a merchant by trade, selling precious stones to those in Ul'dah with the means to buy them. He's asked that I send any looking for work his way. Find him over on Horizon if you fancy. That's in Western Thanalan, mind you. Just cross the bridge north of Scorpion Crossing, and the road will take you there. Knowing the circles he deals in, might be he'll have some talk of the royal family that'll interest you as well. And why not make use of a chocobo porter for the journey to Horizon? If you got the gil for it, that is. You find the chocobo stables just across the way from my quicksand. Find Mimigun. He'll set you straight. Well, off you go then. I haven't got all day to be holding your bloody hand. Jump! Yeah, I might as well hire the porter. I mean, honestly, it's 5 gil. Here we go. I went that far in. Oh, wow. They just give you this map. Huh. I want to keep advancing this thaumaturge right now. Maybe not. Well, at least fate's not there yet. Ooh, I need to come over into this area as soon as I get done in Horizon. Sean, I presume? Aye, Momodi said to expect you, and so I have. Welcome to Horizon. Ours is a trading settlement that sees goods in from the port of Vesper Bay to the rest. Ours is a trading settlement that sees goods in from the port of Vesper Bay to the west. Trade we do. Nary a day goes by that Horizon isn't bustling with some manner of merchants and officials. They keep us running about busy, they do. Enough so that I wish I had chocobo legs in place of my own. That's why I've asked Momodi to send me any souls looking for work. 12 know there's plenty of it to be done around here. Speak to me again when you are ready to make yourself of some use. Before I do anything else, take the leave meat. Be a simple one, mind you. Or you undertake officially essential that you prove yourself of sound body and mind. Take a moment to review the task outlined in this guild leave. Do you believe it within your capabilities? It's a level 10, so yes. Okay. We will accept it. Okay, it's over to the west. I'm going to hold on that. We'll go over that when I'm getting ready to actually do the thing. Most dire happenings are afoot. Most grave and treacherous trespass. Some unprincipled knave has been filching supplies from the storeroom. In order to apprehend this morally challenged rapscallion, I have procured 4 iron leg traps. To be completely honest, however, I'm not entirely certain how these things work. Would you be so kind as to set them for me? Once you are done, please report to my fellow brassblade, Chechazon. He'll want to know that his traps are being put to proper use. There we go. Good, more gear. Okay. Greetings, adventurer. If you have a moment to spare, I have propositions guaranteed profitable and legitimate both. Tell me, do you know what a pasty is? It's the scalekin that look like a snake, except it gets around on 4 legs. Creatures are wont to petrify their prey with their dreadful gaze before moving in for the kill. I want to get my hands on their eyes. Eyes of the serpent. I need someone who knows how to handle deadly wildlife to do the procuring for me. If you could slay some of the beasts and bring me 4 of their eyes, I'll see it. To it, you're well rewarded. I spot a problem with this trap setup. Like, what if chocobos are coming in? Aw, fate ran out before I could do anything. Oh, shoot. Right? These ones start being late. Whoops. Not gonna be there, thanks. Alright. Cleaned those up. Oh wow, I'm already level 12 pugilist. So this is definitely gonna level shit out of me. Set those traps up for Fufulupa, have you? Excellent. Perhaps now we'll see who falls balls in a knapsack. Are those my leg traps in front of the gate? Trader's Chocobo could step right into that and lose a foot. Better disarm those things before someone important is horrifically injured. Yes, I know you were just following orders. It's Fufulupa, you see. He certainly means well, but disaster follows the man like a behemoth chasing a butterfly. That's 4 eyes of the serpent I want. Slay as many pesties as it takes to procure them. The eyes! My thanks, adventurer. What do I mean to do with these things, you ask? Why, sell them, of course. They may not look like much at first, but if you dip them in an alchemical concoction, they transform into beautiful red gemstones. And these gemstones happen to fetch a handsome price in Gridania. Pasties aren't found in the Black Shroud, you see. As a merchant, it's my job to know such things. Alright. Not really better. That was a mistake. So annoyed at myself. I screwed that up. Okay. Screw it. Let's pick up the next quest. So happens that I have a situation that must be resolved post-haste, and I do mean post-haste. I'm plumb out of premium product, and my latest order has yet to arrive. If I keep my customers waiting any longer, this could irrevocably damage my reputation. What's worse, I paid my man in advance for his services. Despite his assurances that it would be a simple affair, I've heard nothing since he departed for Copperbell Mines days ago. Find Drunken Stag and give him this notice. I cannot afford any further delay. On my chocobo. What do you want? The Danon's product? This is all notices he likes, but it won't change a thing. The concern has closed the mines due to some incident in the depths. It's a goddamn shame, too. Lost a decent haul just over yonder during all the chaos. These should, in fact... Wait, no, that's not... Damn it. We'll just take the bronze piece then. Okay, that will be an upgrade. The product you heard Danon going on about is valuable gemstone, known as raw nashashite. Or nasakite? Nashakite? Like malachite. Nashakite. I managed to dig up a goodly amount just before the mines were closed off, actually. Packed it up and hauled it out even. But then them 12 damn goblins came along. Not like any goblins I'd seen before, and hungry only for the good rocks. They had eyes for my gemstone, but I had no choice but to oblige. The stone torches had their hands full evacuating the mines, so they ignored the beasts. Even now, they're only concerned with keeping people out. Please, friend, if you're willing to face the goblins, would you bring me my nashakite? Horrid whisper. Venturer, please, a moment if you would. Do you mean to go into the mines? I fled for my life when the goblins came, and only now realized that I left my tools behind. Yep, sharpened pickaxe, old hammer, heavy sledgehammer. Okay. Let's go. All right, so good rule of thumb. See what looks like that little alien marker over the goblin, just to the left where it says level 11? That tells you that it's non-aggro. That means that I can go close as I want. It's not going to come after me. But look at this goblin, and yep, he wants the fight. Same with the glide bombs. Okay. How did you fare, friend? Riding the raw Nashkite? Beautiful, isn't it? Rarer than many stones, more expensive than most. They say the green is the same as the eyes of Nanasha ul Nasha, who once ruled as the Sultana. This should save the Daden from his troubles, if there's enough left. It's far less here than what I found. I reckon those goblins made a meal of the stuff. Bloody waste. Please find, sharpen. Yep. Gods bless you, you found them. Oh, my beauties. I thought I'd lost you forever. Mining's all I've ever done. It's all I know. With Copperbell what it is now, it's time to move on elsewhere. But without my tools, I just couldn't. Can't thank you enough, friend. You've done more for me than you could ever know. You'd like a chance to make some money, right? I know just how I can repay you for your kindness. Swarms of sun midges have been harassing travelers along the road connecting Horizon to here. It's gotten so bad that the brass blades have started paying folks to keep the roads clear. I find it hard to believe that swarms of tiny midges could be so troublesome. You've never seen a chocobo driven into a frenzy by one. There have already been some terrible accidents. Do your part, slay a few swarms. After that, let Fufalupa know. He'll reward you for your trouble and maybe even offer you more work. Oh, let's just... All right. Greetings and salutations, adventurer. To what do I owe this? What? You've slain how many swarms of sun midges? You have my sincerest thanks. The brass blades have been struggling to keep them in check, so your assistance is greatly appreciated. Will you be staying in Horizon long? If so, there is much and more you can do to help here. Take the leather jacket. There's some action by completing specific class quests. Okay. All right. I am starting to let this get away from me. Let's hire the porter. Wilda. Let's go. The fate is down below. Ah. And now we're going to do an important thing. All right. Okay. Now, remember me mentioning a guy here. I should also advisory note. Make sure that you check in on your gear with menders. You don't want it breaking. And strictly speaking, it doesn't go away, but get caught in a high-end duty and your gear starts dissolving, and it's going to suck for you. Well, well, the mantle of adventure does not drape so awkwardly from your shoulders as it once did. But while questing alone certainly brings its own rewards, you haven't truly adventured until you've delved into some darkened dungeon, stalwart comrades at your side. Ancient ruins, echoing caverns, and all manner of deadly places lie hidden across the realm, and these are best conquered by in the company of trustworthy allies. And such advice holds true for many a formidable foe that would crush a solitary adventurer. How one fights in a party, however, is often drastically different from how one fights alone. Thus did we construct the Hall of the Novice, where we endeavor to prepare you for those differences. The hall can be found just north of Aleport, in western Lenosia. Within its walls, we offer burgeoning heroes a bevy of training exercises. Step into the flames, my friend, and forge the skills you shall need for the morrow. Hall of the Novice membership granted. You have access to the Hall of the Novice. Complete these exercises to receive a set of gear that will aid you on your journey. On completing these exercises, you'll get brand new gear, chosen role. So see, each one's going to give you a different piece of gear. Avoid area of effect attacks. Basically, don't stand in the damage, dumbass. Ah, yes, that classic music. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. For this exercise, you'll be learning avoidance. An enemy often tips his hand before a big attack, and your best defense, skip out of the way. You pass the exercise once I decide you've learned this lesson. Everything is clear, I trust? Say the word when you are ready to begin. The word. Training exercise now underway. Watch your opponent carefully. When you see an attack coming, move out of the strike zone. No, it doesn't work on him. So I'm going to switch to a new technique. You're doing splendidly. Now it's my turn. Now the ranged damage. Yep. Yeah, it's not really about doing damage. It's about literal dodging. Basically, if you see the orange, don't be there. Yeah, stay out of the damage puddles. Nicely done. Learning to avoid the obvious attacks is a skill that all adventurers need. Those who insist on standing still won't long survive the profession. And speaking of survival, perfecting each of my lessons will earn you a piece of armor to aid you in your chosen role. Should you feel so inclined, repeat this same lesson with the other masters that they might reward you with equipment tailored towards their fields of expertise. Here is your prize for completing the exercise. But remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. Yeah, I think it's actually the gold, the XP, and the, gear. So, taking a look, this is not exactly the best gear look-wise. It's good, but it's like even just this. Look. See what we've got? We're switching to. It's nice. According to my records, you have yet to fully complete your training. You are under no obligation to finish the final exercise, of course, but there is much to gain and not to be lost in the attempt. So if we look, this can be thrown on any disciple of war, which you'll see over under where it says the item level, it just says disciple of war. That means any of your marshals. So both my pugilist and my paladin can wear this gear. I do think, not paladin, gladiator. All right. Assist allies in defeating a target. Okay. So essentially the smith is your guide to how to not fuck up in a party. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. When it comes to your place in a party, you are the sharp end of the spear. Simply put, your role is to inflict as much damage as possible while keeping your own skin intact. As such, you cannot just attack whichever enemy you please. If you strike a foe other than one controlled by your ally, then you risk becoming the target of deadly aggression. You might have guessed the purpose of this exercise: teach cooperation. Your ally will hold the enemy's attention. It is your job to take the foe down. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy, and we can move on to the next training exercise. Everything is clear, I trust? Say the word when you are ready to begin. Reds are on mine. Blue boy is taking it. Your ally, attack the same foe as your ally to win the battle. Concentrate. Very good. Now here's a hint about enemy facing. Yeah, basically this is positional strength. Bravo, and thus concludes the exercise. Break up and collect your rewards. Did you mark the sturdiness of your ally taking the enemy's hits? Coordinating efforts with a heavily armored defender will allow you to fight to your fullest. Here is your prize for completing the exercise. But remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. Dude, I am here for the gear. I need drip. Even if this is the most basically attained drip in the game. And now I have boots. Yeah. Defeat an occupied target. Let us proceed directly to the briefing. This exercise, you will be fighting multiple opponents. Key to victory is coordination with your comrades. Each foe will fall all the swifter under a focused assault. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy, and we can move on to the next training exercise. Everything is clear, I trust? Say the word when you are ready to begin. Commence training! Training exercise now underway. Start the fight with the staff waver. Sure to attack the same enemy as your allies. Strike wrong foe 5 times. Bravo, and this concludes the exercise. Coordination is the key to conquering foes swiftly and safely. Work well with your allies, and the efficacy of your armor need not be tested. Here is your prize for completing the exercise. But remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. Dun 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 dun. Level sync. Basically, if you are higher than a certain level, it will lower you down. You'll still have all your gear. Any gear that's over will be dropped down to match that level. But it'll be like best version of it. So, like, the best like level 15 shit you could have if you're on over gear. So you're still going to be advantaged later in the game if you're doing low level content and you're over the level you're over level cap. It'll sink you back down, but that gear that you've got from later, a lot more of it is going to apply than the gear you would be wearing at that level. Yep. Avoid engaged targets. Let's proceed directly to the briefing. Do you remember the lesson where I had you evading enemy attacks? Nope. This exercise will put that training to the test. You must needs plan your strikes around some fancy footwork. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy. We can move on to the next training exercise. Everything clear, I trust? Say the word when you are ready to engage. Training exercise now underway. Engage the axe wielder, but keep an eye out for counterattacks. If you allow yourself to be hit 5 times, we will start this exercise again from the beginning. Well done, slippery as an eel, novice. No, I don't. Bravo. Conclude the exercise. Move along. Neatly done. Breaking off attacks to save your skin is always the wisest course. Though it may sometimes be a frustrating dance, it is better to dodge than be sprawled in the dust. There's prize completing the exercise. But remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe! Oh, that one must have used to have been... Okay. So, the one where we didn't get a piece of gear, I remember what that is now. It's not that we wouldn't get a piece of gear there. What we would get was the belt for this set. But belts were discontinued. Along the way, they had to... they were almost completely superfluous. It was just extra gear, and everybody ended up having a ton of belts just sitting around in their glamour dresser, and they're trying to conserve space. Engage enemy reinforcements. Okay, I'm not going through this dialogue again. I swear to God. All right, so down here where you see this, you'll see that little symbol there next to my level. That's the level sync marker. So you'll know your level synced by that. So basically here, we're trying to get the ads off of... Basically, protect your healer, protect your caster. Get them off of there because those guys are glass cannons. They are not designed to take a hit. Pardon? Training exercise is now underway. All right. Yes. Basically, protect your healers. Because otherwise, they're going to have to break off of what they're doing in order to keep themselves alive, and that pretty much takes them out of the fight. Fine performance. Party is doomed without a source of restoration. When reinforcements threaten your healer, it is time to spring into action. Here's your prize. Yay, brand new tabard. Manipulate. You will learn to manipulate the battlefield. During the battle, enemies will pour forth from the rear gate. New foes will continue to flood in whilst the portal remains open. You must operate the lever that closes the gate, or your party will be overwhelmed. Work with your allies to defeat the enemy, and we can move on to the next training exercise. Everything is clear, I trust? Say the word when you're ready to begin. Exercise now underway. Engage the enemy, but be wary of the gates. Yeah, none of these are difficult. It's just, it's just a thing you end up doing. It's imperative to recognize when a battle has turned against you. Act quickly to neutralize an enemy's advantage, or be prepared to suffer through a difficult fight. Here is your prize for completing the exercise, but remember, the real prize is the lesson you've learned. Okay. Yeah, see, this is just automatically looking a lot better. According to my records, you have yet to fully complete your training. You are under no obligation to finish the final exercise course. Final exercise. Brand new ring. Oh, we need this. All of this was actually for this ring. You've arrived at the mountain's peak, the final exercise. This is outside of Lenosia. As the culmination of your training, all the skills you've acquired will be put to the test. Put your lessons into practice and you'll do just fine. Say the word when you are ready to begin. Commence training! Training exercise now underway. Let's begin with the basics. Pay attention to the enemies facing and stay out of harm's way. Another jackal. Multiple foes. Now for the last challenge. This one hits. Oh, yes. Famed Gooby. Come on, come on. It doesn't give you a helmet, but hey, it's at least something, you know? Okay. We did all that for this. Increases XP earned by 30% when level 30 or below. This is going to be a huge bump for us in trying to get all our other crap leveled. Okay. And of course, we look a lot cooler. Okay. Now I need to start taking care of some other stuff. Well, I can stay as pugilist for right this second. Well, actually, we are going to switch to gladiator. For no other reason than get his gear upgraded a little. Okay. Now, I've leveled everything else. All the combat jobs available in Ul'dah are done for the moment. So we're going to start doing our thing. So we have the weavers, we have the goldsmiths, we have the alchemists. Those are all crafters. But first, we're going to pick up miner, which is one of the 3 gathering jobs. And it's very important that you do gathering first. pretty much every craft you want to do is going to be dependent on stuff that you get off of gathering. So this is more or less where we start our journey on that. This here's the Miners Guild. Is there something you'd like to know? Tell me about yourself. Adalberta, Master of the Guild. It's my job to look after those miners and put their names down on our roll. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. I'm in the wrong thing. Right. Go talk to the receptionist. Well met, adventurer. You stand within the Miners Guild, a place where seekers of the realm's mineral wealth gather. Pickaxe and sledgehammer, we miners work rock and earth that they might yield us ores, fossils, precious stones, and more. If you have a mind to join our ranks, you'll be pleased to know that we are currently recruiting. Great riches await those with strong backs and keen eyes. Yes, let's go. Decision you will not regret. You've just taken your first step towards striking it rich. To look at the lands around Ul'dah, one would be forgiven for thinking the region barren of opportunity. But beneath the surface, the scene could not be more different. There lie veins of copper, silver, and gold beyond measure. For as long as he has dwelt in Thanalan, man has availed himself of these vast deposits, giving rise to a thriving mining trade, which forms the foundation of our nation's prosperity. Of course, the mining trade, as it is today, owes much to an event which took place some century and a half ago, namely the Mad Mithril Rush. Never before had the Sultanate seen such an influx of migrants. Endless throngs came from lands near and far, spurred on by the dream of discovering the motherlode. Alas, a harsh reality awaited them. See, the vast majority of these poor souls were miners in name alone, and they possessed neither the proper equipment nor the training to realize their dreams. To make matters worse, the mining concerns, who in those days held absolute power, did not scruple to exploit them. Presented with a glut of unskilled labor, they proceeded to fill every tunnel to bursting, and atrocious working conditions soon became the norm. Miners were paid a pittance for back-breaking labor, and saw naught of the riches they unearthed. Pushed to the breaking point, the workers banded together to form the Miners Guild, with the aim of improving conditions while protecting the integrity of the trade. Since then, we have sought to educate folk in correcting mining practices, both to prevent accidents and to curb the impact that our trade has upon the environment. I trust you now have a better understanding of what we do. All that is left is to commit your name to our roll. Ready to do, pray speak with me again. Yes. Aye, the kind made when one's pickaxe strikes gold. You must introduce yourself to the Guildmaster Adalberta right away. Her approval is required if you are to be formally admitted to our ranks. In case you're unaware, Adalberta is perhaps the most accomplished of those miners who still swing a pickaxe. Her understanding of our trade is unsurpassed, and her flair for prospecting uncanny. Her brain, in short, is a veritable gold mine of knowledge, much of it concerning the mining of gold. Jesting apart, you stand to learn a great deal from her. When you are ready, pray present yourself to Adalberta. You will find her down the steps yonder, over by the bar. I love that the Miners Guild, has its own bar. Like, yeah, we're just actually going to do this properly. Okay. Well met, adventurer. Alberta's my name, and I'm the master of the guild. Take you wish to become a miner. Well, our doors are open to all who aren't afraid to work hard and get dirty. Thanks to recent advances in refining techniques, it's now possible to smelt even low-purity ores. I mention this because it's allowed us to reopen a number of mines which were long thought exhausted, prompting trade to flourish. Truth be told, with business as it is at the moment, you can't take on enough new miners. Few folk make better miners than adventurers, you being a hardy lot. What's more, you're well-traveled, which serves to expand the guild's sphere of activity. Oh, but I'm not suggesting you join solely for our benefit. For your part, you'll acquire skills that will prove to your profit. Mutually beneficial arrangement, I trust you'll agree. So what say you? You will join us, yes? And I bid you welcome to the Miners Guild. May your toils never go unrewarded. Now then, here's a pickaxe to get you started. It's not the newest, but it should serve a novice well enough. Go on and take it up. See how it feels in your hands. Speak to me again when you're ready, and I'll assign you a little task to help you get into the swing of things. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So this is going to drop me naked again. Okay. So the ring will not operate on gatherer jobs, just disciples of war and magic. Gatherer role. We'll do this later when I'm actually at a node. I'm Ben Dalmatica of Gathering. Adalberto wants to assign you your first job. You look good with the pickaxe, Sean. Now that you're suitably equipped, your training can commence. The miner learns his craft best in the wilderness with pickaxe in hand. To begin, let's see how you fare with good old copper ore. Bring me, say, 10 chunks. Yep, there are deposits of the stuff throughout Thanalin. I doubt you'll have to go very far outside the city. Seek out some promising locations outside the Gate of the Sultana and the Gate of Nald and swing away. Motion may feel awkward at first, but in time it'll become second nature. All right. So, thing is, here, unlike with other jobs, you'll have a few things. So for one, you'll have your gathering. This will expand as you level up. So as soon as I hit level 6, I'll get a new bracket. But for right now, this is what I've got. If we look in Western Thanalin, we'll see that I can get copper ore out here, but also in Spineless Basin over here. You can do this with all of them. And there are different, some places have more spots to go to. But really it breaks down the same way. Look for the item you need. Go find it. Okay. Now, generally speaking, nodes will appear on your map, but you'll notice mine are not up. So, we prospect. And now suddenly, look. You see it on the minimap? The little gold pickaxes? Yep. Oh, level 5 mineral deposit. Blah, blah. Okay. So, any that have that little baggie with the question mark are things I haven't mined before. Now, I need 10 of this. I now have auto prospect. Let's look that up. Okay. Auto prospect. So as soon as I become a miner, it's going to pop up prospect so that I don't have to keep hitting it. Just a really simple little improvement, so that you know what prospect is, but you're not trapped to it forever. But In any event, let's get back to task. Yeah, leveling this is ridiculously easy. Which is why I waited as long as I did. Because it is absolutely ridiculous how fast I'm going to jump level. And it gets better. Okay, so I got 4. I'm going to have to do this node. I now have sharp vision. Sharp vision isn't going to be particularly useful for me yet. It improves your chance by 5%. So, another node. So this is 100%. I cannot make this better for myself. So we're going to look at the muddy water. And it pops to 72%. Yep. So, yeah. Then we also have Lay of the Land. Lay of the Land will show you the nearest mineral deposit or rocky outcrop, whatever, within the range. Eventually, it'll upgrade at 5, which is my next level that I'll get. Again, what it'll do is it'll survey the land, the highest level one, as opposed to just the nearest. And if we notice, I went from 67 to 68. Another really good way to get some bonus XP here. Oh, looks like Sharp Vision 2 already got popped. Like I said, this is stupidly fast to level. Okay, go to actions and stop screwing that up. So instead of 10, it boosts by 15. Costs 100. It's more expensive on gathering points, but Gatherer's Boon. Chance to get extra stuff. And yes, I will need the muddy water for stuff. There is a reason I'm doing this. I don't want to have 10 spare of each. Hate you a little. So, wind shards and the other crystals like these are the lifeblood of crafting. You will literally, if you're really getting into crafting, you're going to burn through so many of these things. Now, in fairness, they'll give them out as quest rewards within crafting job stuff. Okay. Sneak. Basically, anything. So it'll shut off basically enemies aggroing on you, but only So I'm level 8, but it'll only do that for enemies up to level 12. Eat you a little. Okay. As well, you are really not laid out for combat. You can kind of do it, but if we're being perfectly honest, it is not an advisable point. Okay. Got the node clean. All right. Got what I need, and we go back. With enough extra to make sure I have some stuff in the bank for doing later craft quests. Without having to pay people. So we pop back to Miners Guild. Pardon me. Yep. Let's see here. 10 chunks, just as I ordered. Well done, Sean. Tell me, is being a miner alt like you imagined? Harder than expected, is it? Heh. All new recruits say as much. Pretty straightforward. It takes a combination of knowledge, experience, and instinct to know where to dig. You know, it's ultimately backbreaking labor that yields you your prize. Make no mistake, Sean. Mining is grueling work, and you'll be dog-tired most of your waking hours. But tell me, did you not feel invigorated each time your pickaxe struck home? Did you not experience a thrill of triumph when the earth finally yielded up your prize? That is what we miners live for. You may be ripe to collapse, your face caked in weak old dirt, but the promise of discovery drives you on. And the instant you find that which you have long sought, in that sparkling instant, you feel like a god among men. You've made a fine start. I would see you maintain your efforts. Practice your pickaxe till your arms. Practice swinging your pickaxe till your arms have learned the motion. Then return here. I'll have another little task for you. Okay. So I've got a practical demonstration coming up. So regardless of what she gives me to go get, I'm actually going to stick with going after that muddied water. Yeah, probably going to go with... Yeah, I gotta go with pants. Hello there, Sean. It's good to see you again. Judging by the blisters on your hands, it's plain you've been hard at it with your pickaxe. Good. Ready for the next stage of your training. Eorzea is a vast realm filled with diverse environments. Our mineral wealth varies from region to region. Even within Thanalin, there's a marked difference between east and west. Want to be a successful miner? It's essential that you know where to look for what. For that, you have to become intimate with Eorzea. How else can you expect her to remove your innermost secrets to you? Getting to know her every square malm is no small undertaking, of course, but the yalms soon add up, as I'm sure you'll find with my next task. I'd like you to seek out 10 bone chips for me, so you don't go about it completely blind. You'll find these just beyond the Gate of Nald. Off you go now, and happy digging. Okay, so first we're going to come... And suddenly, it's way better. I changed exactly one piece of gear. That's it. And now it's 100%, which means I don't need to use my sharp vision at all, serving me some gather points. And now the tour moves on. None of these are technically on my list, but since we're here, all right. Ah, okay. So when you meet certain conditions, you get bonuses on some. Fuck you too. You're gonna see some more swearing from me on certain aspects of this stuff. Okay, but we have not found our bone chips. The reason we have not is because it's actually more off to the right, off to the east. We need to move this way. Ta-da! So, if you get tired of hitting the individual thing, you hit Quick Gather, and you just select what you're going to do. actually going to make me go around? Or can I cheese this? I can cheese this. Okay. Practice your jumping. It will come in useful later. Okay. Yep. Now, you had trouble tracking these down at first, but each chip you found added to your understanding. For your efforts, you've come to know where best to search for bone chips, and so it goes for everything else we mine. Now, in addition to learning where to find materials, you should also make a point of knowing who needs them. For instance, armorers and blacksmiths are our best customers when it comes to ores, while goldsmiths struggle to ply their trade if we didn't supply them with gold and gemstones. Oh, and I mustn't forget the alchemists. Those fellows can never have too much rock salt and cinnabar, and we often rub shoulders with them. In short, know whence it comes and whither it goes. To be sure, you still have much and more to learn, and there's no substitute for hard work. Oh, don't look so glum. Just be thankful you don't have to bleed and memorize all that information. You have a gathering log for such stuff. Make good use of it, and you can't go wrong. That's all for now. Keep up your efforts and visit me again when you've spent more time in the wilds with pickaxe in hand. I'll have another task for you when you've perfected your swing. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, hempen work gloves will more definitively raise my gathering, which determines the percentage chance when I hit a node, right? I'm going to get the bronze pickaxe regardless. Probably going to level. But the reason I'm taking the culottes here is because they add perception. Perception, you notice that thing about gathering boon? Perception controls your percentage chance of getting bonus resources per swing. So the higher that goes, the better your chances of getting stuff that you need. Yep, see? Ooh, and I get a sledgehammer. Nice. Ah, there he is. The rising star of the Miners Guild. Oh, don't be like that. I'm only teasing. This is not to say that it isn't true. The fact is, you've been working tirelessly, and you've improved more quickly than I could have hoped. Indeed, I think you're ready to handle the task in the name of the guild. As you probably know, we receive orders from various parties, but most come from Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. The concern actually owns this hall, but they've kindly given us the loan of it. In return, they get first pick of guild talent to work their mines. On occasion, they send requests to us for us to procure less widely used minerals, commodities required in quantities too small to warrant anything beyond an ad hoc arrangement. One such request happens to have arrived just now. I want you to take care of it, Sean. This time, the concern needs 10 pieces of obsidian, and I'd like you to procure them. You'll have the best luck searching around the hammers in western Thanolin. That's going to put us over by Silver Bazaar. I could have grabbed a Chocobo Porter for this, but eh. Yeah, for obvious reasons, there's no hunting log for the... I should pop this, however. Because there are aggro enemies out this way, I think. Oh, let's start to get a new node over here. So I didn't equip my culottes. Yep, that was a bad decision on my part. Or my hand. Jesus Christ, I'm screwing this up. Yeah, remember to equip. It is very important. Having new awesome gear is awesome. But it does help rather a lot if you, in fact, actually remember to equip it. Yeah, so see, now it's 100%, and I even have the 1% chance to hit a gatherer's pool. Still haven't done that leave quest. I really, really should. Okay. I'm going to actually check these notes on the way back. There might be something in them that I didn't get before, so... Oh, like this fire shard. Could definitely finish that thaumaturge. Yep. Ooh, this is a fine obsidian. Concern will be well pleased. In case you're wondering, the spoils of your labor are bound for the Colosseum. I'm told there's to be an exhibition featuring ancient arms. One of these... Oh, shit. Makwahit... Makwahuitil. Wooden sword with shards of obsidian embedded in its edge. Before man learned to work metal, he used various kinds of stone to craft blades for his weapons. Obsidian was amongst the most coveted, thanks to the razor-sharp edge it could achieve. These days, of course, blades are commonly forged of steel, and obsidian has fallen out of favor. There's still folk out there willing to pay good coin for it, nevertheless. As an ambitious young miner, you do well to pay attention to such customers. Make the effort to stay abreast of demand, and your efforts will be more richly rewarded. Continue to impress with your progress, Sean. It's past time you learned how to use a sledgehammer. It's a secondary tool we use in conjunction with the pickaxe. Thus equipped, you'll be able to break out crops of bedrock and get to the precious minerals within. Well, what are you waiting for? Go find a rocky outcrop and give that sledgehammer of yours a swing. Okay. And obviously, you want to take the hat here. It's a straight plus 20 versus plus 11. As much as the boots are probably nicer. So yeah, over here, gathering has definitely gone up. So here, following our previous thing, we'd upgrade with the hard leather espadrilles, because that's the only thing I haven't upgraded so far. Is I already have things like the wrist guards and the pants and the shirt, even though those are upgrades. The lowest item we have is the boots. Sean, I've been searching high and low for you. You have a visitor, an ordinary one at that. I speak of Deep Canyon, vice foreman of Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. Seems word of your sizable haul of obsidian has reached his ears, and now he wishes to meet with you. I can only speculate as to his intentions, I'm afraid. We haven't spoken much of late. Truth be told, I've scarcely seen him. You'd never know it, but we used to be close. Anyway, I suggest you go and see the man. Find out what he wants. He's waiting by the entrance. So this is a whole thing that comes up in the gathering, in the crafting thing, where you're literally meeting with customers, which I just thought was kind of a nice touch. You must be Sean O'Reilly. I've been waiting for you. I'm Deep Canyon, vice foreman of the concern. I must say, you're not what I was expecting. I was sure Adalberta's newest protege would be an Alamegan, like every other miner this place produces these days. But I'll wager you're from even farther afield, and that you're an adventurer. No offense, but in these parts, adventurers are known for being fickle buggers who break pledges like the rest of us break bread. Truth be told, I've always wondered whether you lot are actually good for Ul'dah. It seems you're not like the others. It takes more than a job in miner to deliver an order from the concern. I have a mind to assign you work, real work. Before I do, I'm obliged to test you. I want you to procure 10 ounces of cinnabar for me. Do this, and we'll talk about more lucrative undertakings. Of course, a bit of cinnabar shouldn't pose much trouble for the guild's rise and star. It is but a formality. Speaking of formalities, be sure to tell the guildmaster about your little test. She's the one in charge around here, after all. Won't have it said that I'm undermining her authority. Test from Deep Canyon, you say? Not as much. In case you don't know, cinnabar is the mineral used to make quicksilver. It's found in certain types of rock, and you invariably need a sledgehammer to get at it. Now, I don't mean to dampen your spirits. Contrary to what you were told, cinnabar isn't easy to find. In fact, it's known to elude even experienced miners. Here you are, tasked with procuring 10 ounces of this stuff. Safe to say, this test is no mere formality. I may not be able to help you dig, but I can point you in the right direction. Search just outside the Sunrise Gates. The rocky outcrops thereabouts are known to yield cinnabar. 10 ounces may sound like nothing. Take it from me, you'll have to work for every one. This is a big task, Sean, but I believe you're equal to it. Alright, so we've unlocked new stuff. Always nice. To see, cinnabar is gotten here. And it's going to be just outside Horizon. So we're going to pop over by the Adventurers Guild and get a Chocobo Key. Oh boy. All right. So, one of the reasons you get the various abilities, so we get to see our first I need to trade stuff out on my hotbar. Because realistically, you want to set things up in a way that is a bit more on point. So generally, the stuff you use the most, you want where your main abilities are. Whereas the stuff you're only going to use once in a while. Okay. Mountaineer's Gift increases Gatherer's Boon by 10%. You'll get better versions of all these later, but now I'm up to a Sharp Vision 3. Here, though, I don't actually want to use that because it is way too expensive for what it's pushing. However, so I'm going to use 2 to get me to my 100, and then I'm going to pop that. See? 2. Nope, only 1 on that one. All right. Now, your GP refresh will go up slightly with each swing, but it doesn't really go up that quickly. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to that as you're going along. There will be stuff later that I can do to improve my run here. But we're going to do the standard here and make sure I have at least 10 Cinnabars sitting around for later. We're just leveling. We're just leveling. Let's see, now I'm down parts here. All right. All right. Let's get me some copper sand. Nice. Okay. Gonna do the return from here. I don't feel like doing Chocobo Porter. I want 10 ounces of Cinnabar and not one less. Oh, make it quick. Got other commissions that want seeing to. Being a dick. Oh, well, the full amount. Congratulations, Sean. You've passed the test. Seems you've got even more potential than I'd been led to believe. This guild's no place for a lad of your talent. I'd make you my personal assistant. Sadly for you, position's not open to adventurers. Why? Because Concern only employs those whose roots are firmly planted in Ul'dah. Our nation owes much of its prosperity to the mining trade. More and more we see outsiders growing fat off the knowledge of our forebears. Oh, I know full well that there are decent foreigners out there who give as much as they get, yourself for one. But ultimately, what belongs to Ul'dah should stay in Ul'dah hands. Of course, the current guildmaster doesn't share our way of thinking, which is something I dare say we'll need to see about correcting before long. Might be his business is good, but it's better to be short-handed than to watch outsiders make off with our wealth. But we're talking about you, Sean. You've proven yourself capable. The Concern will have work for you in the coming days. Depend on it. Before I go, here's some free advice from me. Pay more attention to your gear. What you wear and wield affects how well you work. Even a decent pair of gloves can make a world of difference. Take my word for it. These things cost money, 'tis true. But what's the price of a pair of gloves compared to the untold wealth that lies out there, waiting to be dug up? Bugger all, that's what. And on that note, I'll be off. No doubt we'll meet again soon, assuming you stick with the trade long enough, that is. Yep. All right. Not of level for the next job, so we're not going to be doing that yet. But I did get myself a bunch of fun stuff to go play. Okay. Well, Weaver's Guild is going to be a pain in the dick without a botanist job, but so let's do golds. Jamim. Yes. Or Jemime? Yeah. Jamim. Good day to you, adventurer, and welcome to the Goldsmith's Guild. Have you come to observe our artisans at work? Indeed, it is marvel to watch goldsmiths transform raw metals and uncut gemstones into sparkling rings, earrings, and necklaces, some of which possess magical properties, no less. You know, if you'd like to try your hand at goldsmithing, the guild is open to adventurers like yourself. No prior experience is required, for we teach all you need to know about the craft. Would you be interested? Yes. Pleased me greatly to hear you say so. As a first step, I would have you understand the purpose of our guild. The vast minerals of Athanalin have given rise to a grand goldsmithing tradition, which has been refined through the ages. Our techniques are renowned across the realm, our creations held in the highest regard. However, we of Estane's lapidaries, the premier source of Ul'dah jewelry, were not content to rest on our laurels. Seeking to advance our craft, we turned our eyes to the east, the only place in the known world whose goldsmithing was said to rival our own. We built the finest facilities to beckon their masters hither, blended their foreign techniques with ours. Our guild quickly became the center of Eorzean goldsmithing. Aye, here you shall benefit from the refined wisdom of countless veteran craftsmen. You will learn to see the potential in your materials and shape them to your will. These are essential skills, for a goldsmith must hone his eyes to identify and appraise all manner of materials, and, when needs be, recognize imitations for what they are. It is even said that a master goldsmith can ascertain the authenticity of a man himself. You may one day come to possess such vision, but even the most magnificent jewel begins life as a rough-hewn stone. It must be first cut and polished before it can delight the eyes with its brilliance. If you would become a goldsmith, you must needs refine yourself as you would a gemstone. It will take much time and effort, and there is no guarantee of success. Should you be certain of this as the life you seek, speak to me once more. Be ready to do so. Let's do this. You shall find Mistress Serendipity on the workshop floor, just down the steps. Show her your burning desire to learn, and you are certain to receive her permission to join. Stop right there, you little troublemaker. People are working here. Oh, pardon me, I had mistaken you for a mammoth. Remote there, Let's start over, shall we? What brings you here today, adventurer? Do you perchance have aspirations to become a goldsmith? Yes. Really? That's great. Welcome. Welcome. I'm Serendipity, but you can call me Sarah. Or is that too informal? Sorry, I'm still accustomed to this whole guildmaster business. Ah, right. What did you say your name again was? What did you say your name was again? Paul? Oh, right. Sean O'Island. Well then, Sean O'Island. Work hard, and one day your creations may line the shelves at Estame's Aesthetics. Trust in yourself, and you can achieve anything. That was sufficiently inspiring, I trust. Good. Next order of business. Here is your new chaser hammer. Well, I say new, but it's actually a bit weathered. But never you mind that. Just show me you know how to hold it so we can get started. Create new gear set. Crafting log. So see, yeah, you get a whole bunch of fire and wind shards, but you should always make sure you're grabbing as many shards as you can, because holy god. All right. Great. Let's get started. Though, to be honest, I swear you've done this before by the way you wear that hammer on your hip. Mind you, even if you do have some experience, a responsible guildmaster must ensure that her charges have a firm grasp of the fundamentals. Therefore, I command you to craft me a copper ingot. It's simple, really. All you need is copper ore and a wind shard. Our guild supplier, Eiston, can supply you with copper ore, and I gave you a few wind shards along with your hammer. At least I think I did. If it turns out you don't have any, you'll need to get some yourself. Isn't this exciting, Sean? First real challenge is member of the Goldsmiths Guild. Show me the ingot when you're done. Good luck. All right. So, yep, we got to go into the new one, the crafting log. Now, whatever craft job you're equipped with is what you will start off with. It'll immediately assume that you're trying to do goldsmithing. So if you're a goldsmith, boom. Right now, you really only have the one ability, which is progress. Progress is a matter of how much you are essentially progressing. And I just popped 3 levels in one go. Nice. Yeah, we'll start getting stuff like basic touch in a moment. Let's go ahead and turn the quest in. Do I want to, though? Might as well roll over the rest of this copper ore. Okay. I'm going to go to the guild supplier, pick up a couple more copper ore if I can. Yep. Here's why. Okay. So you have two stats here. There's progress and there's quality. Quality determines whether it becomes a high quality item or it stays a regular point. So a lot of times what you actually want to do is do your progress up until one hit. One hit of progress will finish off the good, and then use whatever else you've got to try and make it high quality. So we're going to go to calculations here, and it'll show you. So at 100% efficiency, progress increases by 6 based on basic synthesis. There will be other stuff later. We don't have those. Okay. So we're going to pop. Boom. Now, instead of finishing this, we're going to do our basic touch ability, which brings us up to a 12% chance. Brings it up 735 per tap. So when I hit the second one, we're now at an 83% chance of producing high quality. Oh, it didn't go high quality. Okay. This is a negligible cost, and usually I'd bamf off and just go mine stuff. But I'm rechecking because of the level up. Okay, durability, for very important reasons. This one did go high quality. Okay. So durability produces it's the HP of the item you're crafting. If you go to 0 on the last step, as long as it completes on that step, you're fine. But if it doesn't, it breaks. You've wasted materials. It sucks. All right. So I'm going to turn in the high quality. Honestly, this doesn't matter, but it's a personal... I'm a crafter main, just... I don't hand in regular shit. You know, I think this is quite... Utter garbage. The worst. Not even fit for making a chamber pot. Quiet, Gigi. I'm the guild master. I get to decide what's fit for a chamber pot. Please excuse me. He gets a bit overzealous at times. GG is my assistant, but he has a habit of butting in with his opinions. Most mammoths are rather simple, capable of no more than rudimentary speech. They can be relied upon for menial tasks, but little else. Gigi, on the other hand, is quite intelligent, and quite stubborn, I might add. I suspect that's due to his age. He's been with the guild for an eternity, ever attending each guildmaster. But recently, he's been coming and going as he pleases. Gigi, kneel before Gigi, the one true guildmaster. Respect my authority, ignorant mortal, or suffer my wrath. It's like this every day, Sean. I'm afraid the experience he's accumulated over a century of assisting guildmasters has made him arrogant. It's quite intimidating, really. I may be the guildmaster, but he's like a walking, talking archive of all knowledge to do with our craft. Oh, I completely forgot about your ingot. Sorry. As I was about to say, I think this is very, very good for a beginner. It's reasonably pure and well-formed. I dare say you've got a knack for this, Sean. What you need now is practice. So keep practicing with your hammer, and come back when you've gotten more comfortable using it. G. Bugger off, greenhorn. Alright, we are upgrading stuffs. Level 5, and we start getting better shit. Oh, they're already giving us the secondary. Wait, that's perception. Okay, so here's where we get into a little bit of a weird point. The hempen bandana here is actually good for both crafting and gathering. The bandana has control and perception attached to it. Control is how well you do at your quality step, as opposed to... So yeah, if you look at this, you want the hempen bandana. Very simply. Oh, Sean, I'm honestly a bit surprised to see you. Most newcomers find Gigi's evaluation so harsh that we never hear from them again. I'm so glad that you didn't take him seriously when he said your copper wasn't fit for a chamber pot. I mean, really, it doesn't even make sense. You could make a chamber pot out of anything. Anyway, I hope you've been working hard, because your next task won't be nearly as easy as the last. It absolutely will, but listen well, Sean. I want you to make 3 copper gorgons. For this, you'll need copper ingots, which you very conveniently learned to make last time. Now, I directed you to purchase ore from Easton before, but there are other ways to obtain it. You could dig it up yourself, or perhaps befriend a lonely miner and convince him to share some with you. However you choose to obtain your materials, I'm sure you'll put them to good use. Alright, let's see if this option is open so far. Nope, I don't have that opened yet. Okay. Okay, so an important concept here in making your stuff. See, so now, because of my upgraded gear, I'll increase progress by 9, which means I will just automatically make this the best it's ever been. It will automatically just finish out, and I don't have to worry about that part. Which means that I'm going to skip doing a progress step in order to get as much quality as I can in one go. So as before, 2 hits puts us at 83% high quality. So we're going to do one more, close it out, and then make. If we go over here, I now have Master's Mend. This is going to be insanely important for the rest of your time as crafter. All right. Okay, so we're going to do a little thing here since I can. Master's Mend increases your durability by 30. Simply put, so if you're at 10, you go back to 40. If you're at 20, you go to 50. That sort of thing. It's not a full fix, but it grants you extra stuff. It is, however, expensive. Okay, there we go. I don't need to use it here because I can do this in one round. But more complicated items mean more complicated other stuff. All right, got enough for that. But I do need leather, which I cannot currently make because I do not have leather working. So what we'll do is we'll just grab ourselves some leather. All right. So if you look here, we have one of the reasons I did it the way I did is because if you notice up here, this will show you what quality you're starting at. And this can save you a lot of effort. You have up to 50%. So I can't quite get there because leather can also be high quality. But again, don't have access to it. So let's go ahead and do this. This increases by 9. So 9, 18, 27. All right, let's start. Come up to 85. And this time we do need to pop. Oh, I need 3. I did not realize I needed 3. Okay. Well, I'm not giving up the copper gorget I already have, so we're going to pick up 2 leather. And let's do some crafting math. It's 2 per. So I need a total of 4 to finish this out. So let's go ahead. We'll make 1 more high grade. Okay, we have unlocked some new abilities. Okay, so the thing about these ones is so like Hasty Touch, you increase quality, doesn't require crafting points, but it's only a 60% chance that it's going to fire off. It's whether it fires off or not, it's still going to lower durability. Rapid synthesis, ton more progress, which I can show you in a second, but 50% chance of whether it works or not. I really don't end up using these whatsoever. But let's take a look. So see, this will increase progress by 22. This only increases by 35, the same as the normal touch. But if you've run out of crafting points, CP, it'll allow you to, finish out, which is the point. But since I don't actually intend to use them, whoops. I'm going to put them over there. Rapid synthesis is good in a clutch moment, but if you're planning your crafts, you don't generally need it. Okay. All right, that should be more than enough. Yep. You can also press this. Some of the, especially with culinary, you may have a lot of ingredients, so you don't want to have to personally pump stuff up to high quality or low quality. So that's where that comes in. It's to make that part easier. Here, it's just not that relevant. Okay. Finally. Okay. So quick synthesis unlocks. Basically, this allows you to rapidly make a bunch of the same item. However, you only have a small percentage chance of getting high quality. It's great if you're just trying to make a whole bunch of a thing and you don't want to bother with doing essentially the mini game. I forgot to close that. Okay. One, two, three. One, two, mend. Pop. Pop. I'm going to make one more since I can. It's only 8 gil. I'll get paid more than this. Okay. Okay, so we have a new trait, and this is thoroughly important to crafting. Inner quiet. So you gain inner quiet with each quality upgrade. You have 10 stacks. It increases the bonus for touch, which is quality increasers, for each stack. So 10 stacks, you're gaining an extra 100% to your touch actions. Now, as to the reason I redid that, copper gorget, which is a neck piece. Let me go around to here. Our copper gorget is okay. All your items that you craft are going to go into your regular inventory. Unlike when you normally pick up gear, it'll auto pop into the respective place in your thing. So if we take a look, the stats increase defense and magic defense by 1 for the high quality version. Later stuff you'll see, like, it'll add to the actual, like, strength and dex and whatever stats it increases. So having high quality gear is almost always better, in at least some regard. There we go. Proceed with trade. Well, in my opinion, gorgets. Your gorgets are gorgeous, greenhorn. Oh wait, I meant grotesque, ungodly, and affront to the gods themselves. For shame. Beg your pardon, Sean. I'm afraid that constructive criticism isn't one of Gigi's strong points. But where was I? Ah, yes, your gorgets are well made, strong and functional. And that's the least they should be, as they're meant to protect one's throat. When it comes to basic pieces like this, we don't have much creative freedom. Still, this doesn't mean we should put in less effort, especially since the techniques used to craft simple accessories are the same ones used to craft elaborate ones. Now then, you've learned how to handle your hammer. There's another tool I'd like you to get acquainted with. With this grinding wheel, you'll find it easier to add the finishing touches when you craft. Try using it and you'll see what I mean. Keep your nose to that grinding wheel and you'll be ready for your next challenge in no time at all. Okay, so we're 39, 0 control, 39 craftsmanship. Goes to 24 control, 65 craftsmanship. It's a really solid increase here. So I'm definitely going to want the gloves. No, I want that one. See here, both the headgear and the gloves both just increase control. Control is plus 11 on the amateur's Kurta, but it does a 27-point bump to your thing. We'll also be getting our bronze chaser hammer here. Throw some rings on it. I'm so sorry, sir. Please don't. Oh, it's only you, Sean. For a moment there, I thought my heart was about to fail me. I thought the angry miner had returned. Gigi wasn't pleased with the ore the miner brought in, you see, and he made this sentiment clear. In the only way he knows how. There was mention of the miner's mother and an old goat. Never mind all that. I have an urgent task for you. We've just received an order for a prodigious quantity of copper rings, and I'd like you to handle it. Now, this is an honest-to-God's commission, Sean. You'll have to satisfy a paying customer, not your kind and lovely guildmaster. But I believe you can do more than simply satisfy. Now, the customer's waiting, so you'd best get started on those copper rings. When they're ready, come and show them to me, just for good measure. Okay. Handful of copper rings. Okay. 12 copper rings. Nope. Okay, so these are 1 for 1, which means I actually need more copper. Okay, so if they're 1 for 1, I need 3 for every ingot, which means I need a bunch. Hmm. No, I'm just gonna purchase. Okay, so crafting log. So let's take a look at another fun thing. All right, so what this is going to show you is most directly you need this is the recipe tree. It'll show you need 1 wind shard and 1 copper ingot for each copper ring, which you got from the regular crafting log. But it's also going to show you, that you need 3 copper ore and 1 wind shard for each copper ingot. So if we screw around here, we'll see that we need to make 9. No, wait, we need 8. So I need 24 copper ore. I need 16 wind shards. I'm good on the wind shards. I'm not good on the copper ore. I do not have enough. So I have enough in inventory to make 3 copper ingots, which takes me to 7, which means I really only need 5. So I need 15 copper ore, really. Then we go here, and we're going to quick synth. And this is quick synthing. And now I have my 12 copper ingots that I actually need to do this with. Yeah, don't want to touch that. Okay. 43. So I need 3 and then 1. Okay. So you remember what I was saying? Now the quality bump is 47, which will take me to 90. Now it's 51. It doesn't help me here yet, but it will start really helping me out later. Special items required when progressing through certain quests and duties. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, this is going to introduce a new fun trick. Okay, so see if it comes up. Really? On the last one? Okay, so condition is good. Take a look. All of a sudden, my efficiency for touch action is 83 instead of the 51 it was before with the 3 stacks. So that is a huge bonus. That is basically about plus half on a good. The other thing I can do is I can use tricks of the trade. My durability will not decrease, but it will give me back 20 crafting points. Now, we also have Observe. It's 7. It costs 7 crafting points. And you do nothing for a step. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop my first touch. I didn't get one. We're going to hit the Observe. It goes to the next step. Now it's a good. I'm going to use that. Clear my thing. And boom, I shaved off one of my durability points that I was using. It's not really necessary it crafts this low, but it's something to learn as you go through. Later on, you really don't need Observe. But it's occasionally useful to have it. And that's the thing, you've got to kind of like look at situational. Good way to notice who's really a crafter main is find out who's mumbling mathematics. The GGG copper rings. I have seen worse. Oh, Gigi, must you always be so... Wait a minute. Did you just say that you've seen worse? Sean, that's as good as a compliment coming from him. And when you consider what a scathing critic he usually is, perhaps the fact he's not saying anything more insulting is a sign he likes it. After all, he's called your precious work utter garbage and an affront to the gods themselves. I have expected him to call these rings abysmal failures. Oh, I probably should take this opportunity to teach you a thing or two about what you made. Copper rings are rings made out of copper. They can be used to make chains and are chainmail. Probably already knew all that. Anyway, Sean, I would like you to deliver these rings to the client personally. I'd handle it myself, but I believe it's very important that you learn how to deal with customers firsthand. The client is a Sultan sworn named Robert, who should be waiting outside the guild right about. I told him he could wait inside, but he said he didn't want to distract the goldsmiths at their work. Not that I would mind a distraction like that. You're a goldsmith, aren't you? Did Mistress Serendipity send you? Yes, these shall serve nicely. Keeping the Sultana from harm is perilous business, you see. We Sultansworn can never have enough supplies to keep our equipment in serviceable condition. You may inform Serendipity that she can expect full payment soon, and that I send her my fondest regards. How did it go, Sean? What did he say about me? I mean, your work. Ahem. Anyway, seeing how well your very first commission went, I have high hopes for those to come. In fact, why don't you speak with Eustace down at the quicksand and see what work is available for a goldsmith? Yes. I believe you're quite ready to handle commissions independent of my supervision. Take yourself to the Adventurers Guild and try taking on a task or two. All right. So the great part with crafting and gathering jobs gear-wise is that you'll continue getting gear. So since it's transferable between all the crafters, it's so nice. Because whatever gear you're missing, you can now just go ahead and get the other thing for the other stuff. I should probably... No! Okay. Alright, so let's take a look through our gathering log. So you can get all sorts of things here where you start to... So like Thaumaturge's arms are made here. You also get things like Weaver's primary tools, and various other gear that you actually use. All right. Done that. So let's go to the Weaver's Guild. Weaver's Guild is insanely important in your life as a crafter. Goldsmith is good, don't get me wrong. But the amount of crap as far as like glamours and whatnot, this is the bank. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the wellspring of Ul'dan fashion. From humble thread, our peerless artisans weave wonders, dreams, and fabric form. We are renowned as Eorzea's finest purveyors of quality textiles and as her foremost arbiters of style. Needless to say, such renown was not won without effort. Ours is a tremendously demanding profession, you see, but also a highly rewarding. It is little wonder that so many adventurers have set their hearts upon joining us. Might you be one of them? Yes. I thought as much. And I'm sure you're eager to learn all about our illustrious history. Oh, for fuck's sake. As I'm sure you know, Thanalan can be a perilous place, its vast deserts being wont to punish the unprepared. While a menagerie of ferocious beasts stalk the sands, the greatest foe is, of course, the midday sun. And so, ever since man first set foot in this region, he has favored light, flowing fabrics that shield him from the sun's rays while allowing his skin to breathe. Of course, Uldans have ever been a people of taste, and demand for more extravagant designs spurred innovation, resulting in textile goods whose appeal extended far beyond our borders. Merchants had little trouble selling Uldan fabrics in foreign markets, so great was their reputation for beauty and quality. And when traders from those same markets sought to peddle their lesser products in Thanalan, well, it gave us little cause for concern. Sunsilk tapestries is synonymous with the textile trade in Ulda, you see. Those who come here hoping to peddle cheap rags swiftly learn the price of doing business in our territory. Wiser men and women with an interest in our trade choose to instead join the guild, which the company generously operates for the betterment of Uldan society. We offer our members the tools and techniques needed to become successful. Should they prove themselves especially skilled, they may even be offered direct employment as Sunsilk weavers. Just imagine, adventurer, your designs could one day dictate the course of Uldan fashion. If you desire such fame and influence, then you might be granted a place with us, provided that you are willing to embrace hard work. To ensure candidates can endure the rigors of our profession, our guildmaster has taken it upon himself to evaluate each one personally. When you are ready to submit yourself to his rigorous scrutiny, say the word. The word. Excellent. Okay. Oh boy. What do we have here? Another adventurer in search of thrills and excitement. Shall I dance you a merry jig? No? Well, if this fails to please you, I suggest you run along. Perhaps the women of the Ruby Road Exchange will be more to your liking. Oh, so you mean to become a weaver? Then we have something to discuss after all. I shall be blunt. Weaving is an art, and, like all true artists, we must make sacrifices and suffer for our craft. So tell me, adventurer, are you prepared to suffer? Yes. So you say, but only time will tell. In any case, you'll need equipment to get started. This needle should suffice for now. I'll need not explain what a needle is, I trust. Good, then hold it as you would when sewing, and show me when you're ready to begin. Dun, 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 dun. Weaver unlocked. Right. Right. So see, our hempen kurta is now going to help us with our craftsmanship on this stuff. Just automatically. We are unfortunately going to develop having a lot of kurtas. All right. Well, well, you look like you were born to hold one of those. Even so, I suggest you keep it somewhere safe, especially when clambering over haystacks, as I shan't be issuing you another. Now, you certainly look the part, but it remains to be seen if you can play it. I bid you craft me a spindle of hempen yarn. Trifling task, yes? Well, I do hope you find it so. Should it seem even remotely testing, you have no future at this guild. To make hempen yarn, you will require moko grass and lightning shards. The former can be purchased from our own dear Jajima. The latter you will have to find for yourself. That is all. Okay. So, unlike before where we had to do 2 out of the gate, we only had to do the 1 here because I'm that effing good. Now, an interesting note here is up here. Each of these 2 mocha grass will produce 2 hempen yarn. So far, we've been doing it produces 1 no matter how many items there are. And we're already up to bandana level. Well, bless my soul. He can follow basic instructions. It would seem you have grasped the fundamentals. Good boy. Yarn and cloth may be mere materials, but they must be crafted with no less care than a whole garment. For though the finest garments are greater than the sum of their parts, the parts are invariably the finest. Do remember this, Shaw, as you continue your training. Practice making yarn and other simple items, and return once you have attained a basic level of proficiency. Tedious, I grant you, but necessary. And you did tell me you were ready to suffer. So say, now that we have this, we can focus on getting other items that'll help fill it out. And the same's going to be true when we do Alchemist. Back so soon? Very well. Let's resume your training. Since last we spoke, you will doubtless have spent your time making the basic products of our trade, namely yarn and cloth. Now I would have you take such basic products and craft whole garments from them. Make 3 pairs of hempen breeches and present them for my inspection. You'll be working with hempen cloth and yarn this time, as well as a little bit of leather. Jijima can furnish you with materials to help you get started. Ah, but eager as I am to see the fruits of your labor, it would be remiss of me not to mention that there are more economical methods of procuring that which you need. For example, the mocha grass from which you have been dutifully making yarn can be freely gathered out in the wilds. That said, one can't simply rip it out of the ground with one's hand. Scythe is needed, as well as a working knowledge of botany. So, botany is a Gridanian gathering. So, we'll pick up botanists later. Right now, we're stuck to essentially Ul'dah territories. I could try to get to Gridania, but it's a pain in the butt and it takes too long. Have you, perchance, made the acquaintance of a botanist or two? If not, I heartily recommend... Fuck's sake! Oh, blah. Have you, perchance, made the acquaintance of a botanist or two? If not, I heartily recommend that you do. They are attractively earthy, without seeming dirty, and useful besides. Having said all of that, I will not accept a newfound passion for botany and its practitioners as an excuse for the late delivery of your breeches. So don't keep me waiting. Okay, so we gotta go over to Jijima. So I need 3, so we check our crafting level. Hempen breeches. So this would be what's referred to as a glamour item, technically. It's high enough level that basically it's low enough level that anyone can wear it. It doesn't have stats. It's just there to look how it looks. So here I have to produce a couple pieces of the hempen cloth, and I need one per. Now I need 3, so I'm going to need 3 leather. Leatherworking is Gridanian. Now, the good part is you don't really need to go off of your craft. Might as well use the one. So finish me out. Okay. I have 2. I need 6. All right. Still need more. Excellent is awesome. It really hyper fires your quality, but it's followed by a poor. Now it still works out as an overall, upgrade, but it's still going to be a whole thing. Let's math here. F4. I need 2 more. Big thing, make sure you set your hot bars so they're like fairly close to one another, as close as you can make it, so that you're doing precisely what you need to do. Okay. Let's do one more. Good. You do 2 of these. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. All right, now I have inner quiet. Not bad, Sean. Not bad at all. This style of legwear has never been particularly fashionable, nor has its design changed significantly over the years, fluctuating lengths aside, but I digress. I wonder if you might try for a variation on the conventional design, but I see you opted for orthodoxy. A wise decision in this case. Hempen clothing is inexpensive and durable, making it popular amongst farmers, miners, and others who work the land. Such customers value comfort and mobility over all else. They may appreciate more elegant forms, but they will not sacrifice function. Each garment has its purpose, Sean. A purpose that you should always bear in mind. A scalloped hem is about as useful to a miner as nipples on a gladiator's breastplate. Now then, having completed your latest task, I believe you have earned this spinning. Use it in combination with your needle, and your work will benefit from it. Saying that will, of course, take you a little while to become accustomed to using the tools together. You need not worry, though. I fully intend to give you ample proof to acquire the knack. In fact, I won't be teaching you anything else until you have. By the time the spinning wheel feels like it belongs in your hand, I dare say I'll have thought of a new task for you. Until then, my boy. All right. So if we look, you'll see what I was saying from earlier. So the normal amateur's that is being worn. It's plus 27 to craftsmanship, plus 11 to control. But it'll go up to plus 30, plus 12 with a high quality set. And let's go ahead and do that. I do like how they show off the different tools. Oh, I thought I already hit an action for a second. It's just the person, the weaver behind me. Yeah, so as you go up, the amount of quality required for 100%ing the high quality goes up. All right, now an important point of note here is that in order to use recommended gear will only come out of your armory chest. So even if you have something that you crafted that's higher level, you're still going to need to be working with, you're going to need to move that item into the armory chest in order to get it placed in. All right. So see, this is now a completely useless item for me to pick up. So if you notice, okay, so crafting log, let's take a look at what we got. So none of my items here that I can produce are showing up as something I can. But let's go to here. So I can't make cotton. I can't make the cotton. Make me a dozen bolts of undyed hempen cloth as fast as you can. Note the palpable sense of urgency. Time is of the essence, my lord. Okay. It's going to run it 20 times, which is going to produce 40. Ooh, okay. That's spirit bonding complete, which means the new items are bound to me now. Oh wait, no, that's a different thing. Hold on. Okay, so we've been working with primarily the same items. Now, so you see this little bar, the little bar up by Ring of Fidelity? You've got the green one, which is durability. I need to stop at a mender. And the blue bar next to that is your spirit bonding. When that fills up, you can extract material once you actually get the materia, the ability to extract and bind materia. I don't have it yet. Okay, crafting log. This is generally not the most advisable thing you could do with your time, but running through 20 exercises of that is deeply unnecessary on multiple levels. Praise Nymea for bringing you here when she did. There wasn't time to explain before, but Sunsilk Tapestries has the honor of supplying the immortal flames. Noble patrons to be sure, but one whose needs can be rather difficult to predict. On this particular occasion, a detachment of ale-soaked adventurers from the Foreign Brigade thought the Silver Bazaar an appropriate location for a bout of fisticuffs, resulting in a pressing need for bandages. Ordinarily would not accept such a large commission at short notice, but the Foreign Brigade is a favorite of her grace. It would not do to let the troublemakers suffer, even if they did bring it upon themselves. And so your lovingly woven fabric will soon be wrapped around the cracked heads, gashed knees, and split knuckles of said ruffians. Still, your time hasn't been entirely wasted. I dare say you can now weave hempen cloth in your sleep, which is a handy talent to have, given the fabric's many uses. You've made progress, in short. In fact, I do believe you're ready to undertake commissions. I refer to the kind of work doled out by Eustace at the Quicksand. Of course, it'll be a while yet before you can be entrusted with anything bearing the Sunsilk name. But should you continue to improve at the rate you have been, that glorious day may not be so very far off. All right. Oh, I feel like that is a good place for us to leave off as I continue my endeavor. But before we do, so you can switch between your combat jobs and your crafting and gathering jobs. So I may just go ahead and breeze through the alchemist stuff. Now that you've seen what's going on with Crafter, it doesn't... Now, actually, the crafting storyline for alchemist is kind of good. But I'll get my repair and whatnot done so that we can be prepared for next time. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all those fun things. And I will see you next time.